Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're wandering through life without a map? Like you're supposed to have everything figured out, but deep down, you don't even know where to start? You're not alone. Every generation faces uncertainty. But today, young people are dealing with something different: information overload, endless comparisons, and the pressure to succeed yesterday. It's no wonder so many feel lost. But here's the good news. Being lost isn't the problem, it's an opportunity. In fact, some of the most successful people in history started exactly where you are: uncertain, questioning, searching. The difference? They discovered a mindset shift, a perspective that changed everything. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Not just how to navigate this stage of life, but why being lost might be the best thing that ever happened to you. Let's begin. Feeling lost is often seen as a negative experience, something to be avoided or fixed as quickly as possible. But what if being lost isn't a sign that something is wrong? What if it's actually the beginning of something greater? When you don't know exactly where you're going, you are forced to ask the big questions. Who am I? What do I want? What truly matters to me? These questions are uncomfortable, but they are also necessary. They push you towards self-discovery in a way that certainty never could. Think about the moments in life when you felt the most certain. Maybe it was following a structured path set by others, school, expectations, societal norms. But then, at some point, that structure disappears. You're left standing at a crossroads with no clear direction, and it feels unsettling. That feeling of uncertainty is not a failure. It is an invitation. It is an opportunity to dig deeper and figure out what truly aligns with you. Many of the most successful people in the world had a period of feeling lost before they discovered their true calling. Steve Jobs dropped out of college because he felt uninspired. He spent time studying calligraphy, seemingly a useless pursuit, but later, that knowledge shaped Apple's design philosophy. J.K. Rowling was struggling, unemployed, and uncertain before she wrote Harry Potter. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job. Each of them had moments where they could have thought, I have no idea what I'm doing. But instead of running from that feeling, they leaned into it. They allowed themselves to explore, to ask questions, to experiment with possibilities. Being lost forces you to become an active participant in your own journey. When everything is mapped out for you, there is no need to question, to explore, or to challenge yourself. But when the path ahead is unclear, you have no choice but to start searching. That search is where growth happens. It forces you to pay attention, to try new things, to learn from mistakes. And most importantly, it forces you to connect with yourself on a deeper level. There's a difference between feeling lost and being directionless. Feeling lost means you are searching, you are aware that there is something more, and you are actively looking for it. That is a powerful place to be. It means you are not settling for a life that doesn't inspire you. It means you are willing to ask, what do I really want? And then go out and find the answer. Too often, people try to escape the feeling of being lost by rushing into decisions just to feel a sense of control. They take jobs they don't love, stay in relationships that don't fulfill them, and follow paths that don't excite them, all because it feels safer than the uncertainty of the unknown. But real fulfillment doesn't come from avoiding discomfort. It comes from embracing the journey of self-discovery. When you allow yourself to be lost, you give yourself the freedom to explore possibilities you never considered before. You begin to notice things about yourself, your passions, your strengths, your values that may have been buried under expectations and external pressures. You start to recognize what energizes you and what drains you. You learn to listen to your intuition rather than just following the noise of the world around you. Some of the most meaningful breakthroughs in life don't happen when everything is going according to plan. They happen in the moments of doubt, in the spaces between certainty, when you are forced to stop and question everything. Those are the moments when real transformation begins. Instead of fearing the unknown, start seeing it as your greatest teacher. Every moment of uncertainty is an opportunity to learn more about yourself, to challenge old beliefs, and to step into the person you are meant to become. Being lost isn't a problem to solve, it's a process to embrace. It is the beginning of your journey towards something greater. People often believe that clarity comes from thinking things through, analyzing every possibility, and waiting for the perfect moment. But in reality, clarity comes from movement. It is through action that we discover what works, what doesn't, what excites us, and what drains us. The more we sit and overthink, the more we become trapped in a cycle of doubt and hesitation. Action breaks that cycle. It provides real feedback, allowing us to adjust and refine our path as we go. Overthinking often disguises itself as preparation. It feels productive to sit and map out every possible outcome, to weigh every option, to imagine every potential risk. But what happens in most cases is that we end up paralyzed by all the possibilities. We wait for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect level of confidence. That moment never comes. Meanwhile, time passes, opportunities fade, and we remain stuck in the same place, unsure of what to do next. Successful people understand that action precedes clarity, not the other way around. They don't wait until they have all the answers before they begin. They start, and through that process, the answers reveal themselves. A writer doesn't wait until they have the perfect book in their mind before they start writing. They put words on paper, revise, and shape their story as they go. An entrepreneur doesn't wait until they have the perfect business plan before they launch their idea. They test, they learn, they adapt. When you take action, you create momentum. Even if you don't know exactly what the right move is, moving in any direction is better than standing still. Taking a step forward, even a small one, leads to new experiences, new perspectives, and new insights. You start to see patterns, recognize opportunities, and gain a deeper understanding of what feels right and what doesn't. People often think they need confidence before they act. But confidence is not something you have before you start. It's something you build through taking action. When you push yourself to try something new, even if it's uncomfortable, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Each small step forward reinforces your belief in yourself, making the next step easier. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it is the willingness to act despite fear. Mistakes and failures are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are part of the process of figuring things out. Every action you take, even if it leads to a dead end, teaches you something valuable. It shows you what doesn't work, which brings you one step closer to discovering what does. Thomas Edison conducted thousands of failed experiments before inventing the light bulb. Each failure wasn't wasted time. It was a necessary step in the process of innovation. Some people wait for passion to strike before they take action, believing that they need to feel deeply inspired before they begin. But passion is often the result of action, not the cause of it. The more you engage with something, the more you develop an interest in it. The more effort you put in, the more invested you become. Passion grows through experience, through trial and error, through immersing yourself in the process. Action also exposes us to new opportunities that we could never predict from the sidelines. Many people who find success in their careers or personal lives didn't plan every detail from the beginning. They took a chance on something, learned from it, adjusted their course, and stumbled upon opportunities they never would have seen had they stayed still. Life is not a straight path. It is full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. The only way to navigate it is to keep moving. Taking action does not mean making reckless decisions or ignoring thoughtful planning. It means not letting uncertainty hold you back. It means recognizing that progress is made through doing, not just thinking. It means understanding that the only way to truly figure things out is to take the first step, then the next, and then another. The path becomes clearer with each move forward. People spend their lives chasing success, believing that once they reach a certain milestone, they will finally feel fulfilled. The problem is that success, as most people define it, is often shaped by external influences. What society values, what others expect, what seems impressive on the surface. This leads many to pursue careers, relationships, and lifestyles that may bring temporary achievement but lack deep personal meaning. Instead of chasing success, the focus should be on pursuing purpose, because purpose is what gives lasting fulfillment and direction. Success is often measured by wealth, status, or recognition, but these things alone do not create happiness. There are countless stories of people who've reached the peak of their industries, earned millions, gained fame, yet still felt empty. They climbed the ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. When success is pursued for its own sake, it becomes an endless race. No matter how much is achieved, there is always something more, something bigger, something else to chase. This leads to burnout, dissatisfaction, and a sense that something is missing. Purpose, on the other hand, is about meaning. It is about doing something that aligns with personal values, something that feels significant beyond external validation. Purpose is what drives people to wake up excited, to push through challenges, to stay committed even when the rewards are not immediate. When work, relationships, and daily actions are aligned with purpose, they provide a sense of fulfillment that no paycheck or trophy can replace. Finding purpose requires looking inward rather than outward. Instead of asking, what will make me successful, the better question is, what do I care about deeply? This involves self-reflection, exploring interests, and being honest about what truly matters. Purpose is not always about grand achievements or world-changing missions. It can be found in small, meaningful contributions, in helping others, in creating, in solving problems, in making a difference in whatever way feels authentic. One of the biggest obstacles to pursuing purpose is the fear of stepping away from conventional success. Society often rewards predictability, stability, and prestige, making it difficult to choose a path that may seem unconventional or uncertain. Many people stay in careers they dislike, follow paths that feel uninspiring, or ignore their deeper passions because they fear judgment or failure. But true success is not about fitting into a mold. It is about creating a life that feels fulfilling on a personal level. There is also a misconception that purpose is something that must be found before taking action. Many people believe they need to discover their true calling before they start pursuing it. But purpose is not something that is always revealed in a single moment of clarity. It is often uncovered through experience, through trying new things, through paying attention to what feels meaningful. Taking action, even without full certainty, is how purpose begins to take shape. People who pursue purpose often find that success follows naturally. When work is driven by passion and meaning, it leads to deeper engagement, better results, and a stronger sense of motivation. Those who love what they do are more likely to put in the effort, to persist through challenges, and to innovate in ways that set them apart. Purpose fuels the kind of dedication and resilience that external rewards alone cannot sustain. Chasing success without purpose is like running on a treadmill. It may feel productive, but it doesn't lead anywhere meaningful. Pursuing purpose, however, creates a sense of direction that makes every step feel worthwhile. It shifts the focus from external approval to internal fulfillment, from short-term rewards to long-term impact. Instead of constantly chasing something that always feels just out of reach, purpose provides a foundation for real, lasting success. In a world that glorifies speed and instant results, it's easy to believe that moving fast is the key to success. People feel pressure to achieve milestones quickly. Graduate early, land the perfect job, build a successful business, find the ideal relationship, all as fast as possible. When things take longer than expected, doubt creeps in. Comparison makes it worse. Seeing others seemingly race ahead can make it feel like falling behind. But speed is not the most important factor in success. Direction is. Moving quickly in the wrong direction leads nowhere. Moving slowly but purposefully leads exactly where one needs to go. Rushing into decisions just to keep up with others often results in wasted time. Taking a job just because it pays well but lacks fulfillment can lead to years spent feeling stuck. Jumping into a relationship just to avoid being alone can create unnecessary heartache. Launching a business without truly understanding the market can result in costly mistakes. Acting for the sake of movement without considering the bigger picture leads to wasted effort. Slowing down to ensure the right direction prevents this kind of regret. Successful people understand the importance of direction over speed. They don't rush to check off achievements just to feel accomplished. They take time to figure out what truly matters, align their actions with their values, and build something meaningful. Jeff Bezos didn't start Amazon overnight. He spent years working in finance, learning about business, and researching the internet's potential before making his move. Oprah Winfrey didn't become a media icon instantly. She spent years honing her craft, learning from failures, and refining her purpose. They weren't in a rush to succeed, they were committed to the right path. Taking time to find direction doesn't mean waiting for the perfect plan, it means being intentional. It means asking the right questions. What am I truly passionate about? What impact do I want to have? What kind of life do I want to build? It means experimenting, trying different things, learning from mistakes, and adjusting along the way. It's not about standing still, but about moving with purpose. The pressure to move fast often comes from external expectations. Society places artificial timelines on success. Graduate by this age, earn this much by that age, achieve a certain status by a certain point. But life is not a race. Everyone's journey unfolds differently. Some people find their path early, while others take longer to discover their true calling. Vera Wang didn't start designing dresses until her 40th. Colonel Sanders didn't franchise KFC until his 60th. Their success wasn't defined by speed, but by persistence and alignment with their purpose. Patience is a powerful tool. It allows for deeper learning, better decision-making, and more sustainable success. Rushing creates stress, increases the likelihood of mistakes, and often leads to burnout. When people focus on direction, they allow themselves to build a strong foundation. They take time to develop skills, build relationships, and create something lasting rather than something rushed. There is also a difference between productive patience and passive waiting. Productive patience means actively working towards a goal while allowing the necessary time for growth. It means planting seeds, nurturing them, and trusting the process. A farmer doesn't rush crops to grow overnight. A musician doesn't master an instrument in a day. True mastery and fulfillment take time. The focus should not be on getting somewhere fast, but on getting somewhere meaningful. Comparison is one of the biggest traps that make people feel like they need to move faster. Seeing others succeed sooner can create self-doubt, but everyone has a different starting point, different circumstances, and different strengths. Comparing timelines is pointless. The only timeline that matters is the one that leads to personal fulfillment and long-term success. Direction provides clarity. It ensures that every step taken, no matter how small, is leading towards something meaningful. It reduces wasted effort, builds confidence, and creates a sense of purpose. Speed without direction leads to exhaustion and frustration. Direction, even at a slow pace, leads to fulfillment and lasting success. Failure is often seen as something to avoid, something that marks the end of a journey or a sign of personal inadequacy. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary part of it. Every mistake, every setback, and every disappointment carries valuable lessons. Those who achieve great things do not avoid failure. They learn from it, adapt, and use it as a stepping stone toward their goals. People fear failure because it feels like a reflection of their worth. A rejected application, a failed business, a missed opportunity. All of these can feel personal. But failure is not a statement about who someone is. It is simply feedback. It provides insight into what works, what doesn't, and what adjustments need to be made. The most successful individuals are those who reframe failure as a learning experience rather than a final outcome. Every major breakthrough in history has been built on a foundation of failures. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity before creating one of the most influential entertainment empires. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, missed over 9,000 shots in his career and lost hundreds of games. Yet, he credits those failures as the reason for his success. These stories are not exceptions, they are the rule. Every success story includes failure, setbacks, and struggles. One of the reasons failure feels so devastating is because of the unrealistic expectations set by society. And people are often shown highlight reels of success, social media posts of achievements, stories of overnight success, images of people seemingly having it all together. What isn't shown are the years of struggle, the late nights, the countless rejections, and the doubts along the way. This creates a false perception that successful people never fail, leading to unnecessary pressure to get everything right on the first attempt. Failure is not permanent unless someone chooses to stop trying. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is their willingness to keep going despite obstacles. When something doesn't work, it's easy to feel discouraged, to believe that maybe it wasn't meant to be. But in reality, every setback, is an opportunity to grow. It forces a deeper level of thinking, sparks creativity, and often leads to solutions that wouldn't have been considered otherwise. One of the most powerful things failure teaches is resilience. Every time someone gets back up after a setback, they become stronger, more determined, and better equipped for the next challenge. Resilience is what allows people to face uncertainty with confidence, to keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned. Without failure, there is no resilience. Without resilience, there is no lasting success. Failure also provides clarity. It helps eliminate what doesn't work, narrowing the path toward what does. Many people spend years in careers, relationships, or pursuits that don't align with who they truly are because they are afraid to fail. But sometimes, failure is the very thing that redirects them to something better. It pushes them to reassess their goals, redefine their priorities, and ultimately make choices that are more aligned with their purpose. People often ask, what if I fail? But a better question is, what will I learn if I fail? Shifting the perspective from avoiding failure to embracing its lessons changes everything. Instead of seeing setbacks as a reason to quit, they become opportunities to grow. Instead of fearing mistakes, they become a natural and expected part of progress. The path to success is not a straight line. It is filled with obstacles, missteps, and redirections. Each failure is a chapter in the larger story of growth, learning, and ultimately achievement. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment to take action. They wait until they feel fully confident, until they have all the knowledge, until the timing is just right. But waiting for perfection is one of the biggest traps that keeps people stuck. There is no perfect moment. There is no perfect plan. The only way to make progress is to start with what is available right now. Perfectionism creates a false belief that everything must be flawless before moving forward. It convinces people that unless they are 100% ready, they should not even try. This mindset leads to hesitation, procrastination, and missed opportunities. The reality is that no one starts at the top. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person started before they felt fully prepared. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not a lack of fear. It is the willingness to move forward despite the fear. When people wait for perfection, they deny themselves the chance to grow. Growth does not happen in isolation. It happens through experience, through trial and error, through learning along the way. A musician does not wait until they can play perfectly before picking up an instrument. A writer does not wait until they have the perfect novel in mind before they start writing. They begin with what they have, improve through practice, and refine as they go. The same applies to every aspect of life, whether it is starting a business, pursuing a passion, or making a big life change. There is a common belief that successful people have everything figured out from the start, but in reality, many of them had no clear roadmap. They simply started. They took small, imperfect steps and adjusted along the way. They learned from failures, adapted to new circumstances, and improved through experience. Waiting for the perfect plan would have meant never starting at all. Fear of making mistakes often fuels the need for perfection. People worry about failure, about judgment, about not being good enough. But mistakes are not proof of incompetence. They are part of the learning process. Every mistake teaches something valuable. Every setback builds resilience. The most successful individuals are not those who never fail, but those who fail, learn, and keep going. Starting before feeling ready also creates momentum. Once the first step is taken, the next step becomes clearer. Action builds confidence. Confidence does not come from overthinking, planning endlessly, or waiting for reassurance. It comes from doing. The more action is taken, the more capable a person feels. The fear that once seemed paralyzing begins to fade, replaced by a growing sense of self-trust. Perfectionism also prevents creativity and innovation. When people are afraid to make mistakes, they avoid taking risks. They stick to what feels safe, which often leads to mediocrity. Innovation requires experimentation. It requires trying new things, even if they might not work. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history happened because someone was willing to take a chance, even without certainty. Another problem with waiting for perfection is that circumstances are always changing. The perfect moment never arrives because there will always be challenges, distractions, and unexpected obstacles. If action is constantly delayed in search of ideal conditions, progress will never happen. The best time to start is now, with whatever knowledge, resources, and courage is available. Imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. Starting small is better than not starting at all. The first attempt does not need to be great, it just needs to happen. Every great achievement begins with an imperfect first step. Over time, experience refines skills, failures provide lessons, and progress becomes inevitable. The only real failure is never beginning.